Hey everyone, welcome back to the show. Today we are talking about two words that on the surface seem completely obvious, but that learners mix up constantly in real conversation and real writing. These two words both describe the surface beneath your feet, and yet they are not the same word and cannot be used interchangeably in English.
Yes, and I think this is one of those topics where learners think they already know both words, and then discover that they have been using one in places where the other belongs. And that discovery is actually really valuable, because fixing this one thing immediately makes your English sound more natural.
The two words today are floor and ground. Let us get right into it.
So, what is the simplest way to understand the difference between these two words?
The simplest way is this. Floor is the surface inside a building. Ground is the surface outside in the natural world. That is the foundation of everything.
Inside equals floor, outside equals ground.
Exactly. You are in your bedroom. The surface beneath you is the floor. You step outside into the garden. The surface beneath you is the ground. Same feet, different surface word depending on whether you are inside or outside.
Let me build on that with some clear everyday examples. She was sweeping the floor of her kitchen. Inside, floor.
The children were rolling on the ground in the park. Outside, ground.
He put his bag on the floor of the bus. Inside an enclosed vehicle, floor.
She spread a blanket on the ground and sat down for a picnic. Outside in the open, ground.
He dropped his phone and it hit the floor. He was inside a shopping center, floor.
She dropped her phone and it hit the ground. She was standing outside on the street, ground. Every single time, the location tells you which word to use. Inside a constructed space means floor. Outside in nature or on a street means ground.
And this rule is so consistent that if you just remember inside equals floor and outside equals ground, you'll be right the vast majority of the time.
Now let's go deeper into floor, because it has more than one meaning and learners really need to know both of them. Right, floor has two main meanings. The first is the surface you walk on inside a building. We've already talked about this. The floor of a room, a corridor, a shop, a hospital, a school. Any enclosed space has a floor.
The second meaning of floor is a level or story in a building. This is where the word floor refers not to the surface you walk on, but to an entire level of a multi-story building.
So a building can have many floors. A 5-story building has 5 floors. Each level is called a floor. What floor do you live on? Our office is on the 6th floor. The gym is on the 4th floor.
And this brings up something really important that confuses learners, especially those who encounter both British and American English.
Yes, this is genuinely important to know. In British English, the bottom level of a building, the level that sits on the actual ground, is called the ground floor. The level above it is the 1st floor. The level above that is the 2nd floor.
But in American English, the bottom level is called the 1st floor. The level above it is the 2nd floor. There is no ground floor in American English. The building just starts at the 1st floor.
So if you're in Britain and someone says, "I'll meet you on the 1st floor," they mean one level up from the street. But if you're in America and someone says, "I'll meet you on the 1st floor," they mean the bottom level at street level.
That's such a real scenario, so always check which variety of English is being used. In Britain, ground floor is the bottom level. In America, 1st floor is the bottom level.
Now let's also talk about the word story, which is related. A building can be described as having a certain number of stories, a 3-story building, a 10-story building. Story refers to the number of levels. Floor refers to each individual level when you are talking about going to or being on one.
So you say the building has 10 stories, but you say my office is on the 10th floor. Both story and floor refer to levels, but they are used in slightly different ways.
Now let's go deeper into ground and its uses, because ground is a very rich word in English with many important fixed expressions. Ground in its basic sense is the natural surface of the earth outside. Soil, dirt, earth, mud, grass, sand, rock. All of these are types of ground when they form the natural surface outdoors.
The ground was frozen solid after the cold night. He knelt on the ground to tie his shoelace. The ground shook during the earthquake. Seeds are planted in the ground.
Ground is also used for the earth in the sense of soil and what grows from it. The ground is fertile here. The ground needs to be watered. The plants were pulled from the ground.
And ground has a huge number of important expressions and phrases that are used constantly in everyday English.
Let's go through the most important ones. On the ground means in the real situation as opposed to in theory or in an office somewhere. The report sounds good in theory, but the situation on the ground is much more complicated.
Break new ground means to do something completely new and original that has not been done before. This documentary breaks new ground in how it tells the story of climate change.
Gain ground means to make progress, to advance, to move ahead. The new product is gaining ground in the market.
Lose ground means to fall behind, to go backwards, to give up progress. The team began to lose ground in the second half.
Stand your ground means to refuse to change your position or give way even when pressured. She stood her ground during the negotiation and got what she wanted.
Get something off the ground means for something to start successfully after a period of preparation. The project finally got off the ground after months of planning.
Run something into the ground means to use or manage something so badly that it is completely ruined. The new management ran the company into the ground within a year.
Common ground means shared opinions, values, or interests between people who may disagree on other things. Despite their differences, they found common ground on the environmental issues.
These fixed expressions are used all the time in spoken and written English. Knowing them will greatly improve your ability to understand and communicate naturally.
Now, let me bring up some situations where the inside-outside rule gets more nuanced, because I think learners want to feel prepared for every scenario.
Yes, good idea. What about a tent or a marquee set up outdoors for an event? People are inside it, but it is outside.
If the surface inside the tent is still natural earth or grass, then ground is correct. The ground inside the tent was damp. But if proper flooring material has been laid down, then floor can be used. The marquee had a wooden floor laid over the grass.
What about a greenhouse?
A greenhouse with concrete or tiled surfaces has a floor. A greenhouse sitting directly on the earth where plants grow in the soil is more likely to use ground. It depends on whether the surface is a constructed one or still natural earth.
What about underground? If you are underground in a natural cave, the surface is called the cave floor or sometimes the ground. If you are in an underground station or car park, the surface is a floor because it is a constructed space.
And there is one group of important exceptions to the outside rule: the bottom of a body of water. The ocean floor, the sea floor, the lake floor, the river floor. These are natural outdoor surfaces, but they use floor, not ground.
This is a fixed pattern in English. The bottom of water is always floor. The ocean floor is teeming with life. The sea floor is deeper than most people imagine. Scientists explored the lake floor.
And similarly, the forest floor is a widely used expression. The forest floor is covered in fallen leaves. Fungi grow on the forest floor. Even though a forest is outdoors and natural, the base of a forest is referred to as the forest floor.
These exceptions are worth knowing, but they are fixed phrases. In ordinary everyday situations, the inside equals floor and outside equals ground rule works beautifully.
Now, let us go through the most common mistakes learners make with these two words.
Mistake number 1 is using ground when you mean floor for indoor surfaces. Saying, she dropped her keys on the ground when she was inside her apartment. The correct word is floor. She dropped her keys on the floor.
Mistake number 2 is using floor for outdoor surfaces, saying the dog was lying on the floor in the garden. A garden is outside, so the correct word is ground. The dog was lying on the ground in the garden.
Mistake number 3 is not knowing the British and American English difference for building levels, expecting the ground floor to mean the bottom level in America, or expecting the first floor to mean the bottom level in Britain.
Mistake number 4 is saying ground floor in American English. American English does not use ground floor. The bottom level is the first floor in American English.
Mistake number 5 is using floor instead of ground in fixed expressions, saying break new floor, or gain floor, or stand your floor. All of those are wrong. The fixed expressions use ground, break new ground, gain ground, stand your ground.
Mistake number 6 is using floor for the bottom of the ocean, saying the ocean ground. The correct phrase is the ocean floor. Always floor for the bottom of bodies of water.
And mistake number 7 is using ground for the level of a building, saying my office is on the 3rd ground. The word for building levels is floor. My office is on the 3rd floor.
Now let us do a practice round. I will describe a situation and you choose floor or ground.
Ready.
A cleaner is working inside a hospital corridor.
Floor. Inside a constructed building, the cleaner is mopping the floor.
A child trips and falls while running in the schoolyard outside.
Ground. Outside in a schoolyard, the child fell to the ground.
A British person tells you to meet them at the bottom level of a department store.
Ground floor. In British English, the bottom level is the ground floor.
You're describing where marine biologists found a new species of fish.
Ocean floor, or sea floor. The fixed phrase for the bottom of the ocean uses floor.
An entrepreneur is telling you her business has finally started after a long preparation.
Got off the ground. Fixed expression meaning to start successfully.
You're in a cinema and someone in front of you drops their popcorn.
Floor. Inside the cinema. Popcorn all over the floor.
A wildlife documentary shows insects living in the base of a forest.
Forest floor. This is the fixed phrase for the base level of a forest.
Two negotiators with very different views find things they agree on.
Common ground. Fixed expression for shared agreement between different parties.
Every single answer was right. You handled all of them perfectly. And what I want listeners to notice is that the reasoning was always the same. Inside a constructed space equals floor. Outside in a natural or open space equals ground. Fixed expressions stay as they are. Exceptions like ocean floor and forest floor are fixed phrases.
Those 4 ideas together give you complete coverage of this topic.
Now, I want to say something to build confidence because some listeners might be thinking this was too simple and wondering if they missed something or if there's more complexity hiding somewhere.
The truth is that floor and ground are genuinely straightforward compared to many English vocabulary pairs. The inside-outside rule is clean and reliable. The fixed expressions are finite and learnable. The British and American difference is specific and easy to remember.
So if this episode felt clear and manageable, that's because the topic genuinely is clear and manageable once it's explained properly. That's not a sign that you're missing something. It's a sign that you have understood it well.
And the goal now is to take what you understood today and reinforce it through noticing. Every time you walk on a floor somewhere, notice it. Every time you step on ground outside, notice it. Connect the word to the physical experience.
Physical reinforcement is some of the most powerful learning you can do. When a word connects to a sensation, a texture, a real moment in your life, it sticks permanently.
You are building real English instinct, and every word you truly understand becomes part of a bigger, richer picture of the language.
Thank you so much for spending this time with us today. We hope floor and ground feel completely natural now and that you feel fully confident using both of them correctly in any situation.
Keep going, and we'll see you in the next episode.